What's up, everybody? My name is Slim, and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday, we had some spoilers for Chapter 1110. Today, we have a couple more, so I'm going to be going over that, as well as what I think the devil fruits, if they are devil fruits, for the five elders actually are, and a couple theories I have on this chapter. So, without further ado, make sure, if you do like my videos, make sure to like it, subscribe, and comment. For any support and all support, I thank you for that so much. We get the cover story again. Yamato is traveling through Wano country, and we get the Gorosei and their awakened forms arriving on Egghead Island after they've been summoned by Saturn himself. The forms for the Gorosei are as follows. V.Nusjuro is a wild horse. Jupiter, massive worm-like monster. Warcury, a giant boar. And Marcus Mars is a giant bird. They are all yokai, confirmed. The elders attempt to attack Luffy, but they are stopped by the giants. We then get we get Zoro versus Lucci, and Zoro defeats Lucci. Additional info is as followed. Lucci tells Zoro that there's an intriguing Haki that he can feel. He is curious to check it out, however, he is fighting Zoro at the moment. I believe the Haki that he's talking about has to be the Gorosei. You know, we got information that it looks like they might be using Voice of All Things to communicate to each other, but I'm not entirely sure, because if they did have Voice of All Things and they were using it at the moment, I feel like Luffy should be able to hear what they're saying, but he didn't have any captions, or he wasn't making any notions that he could hear what they're saying, so I'm not sure if I believe that. What I do think could be the truth, I do think since they have been around longer than most, I do think they probably have a stronger Haki than most people alive at this time. So there's a chance that they just have a different type of Haki developed from maybe having their devil fruit for such a long time, if they do have one, or being around so long that it kind of develops into its own thing that's even stronger than the normal Hakis that we can see. But I'm not entirely sure. Jinbei is then speaking with Sanji on a Din Din Mushi. Jinbei sees Zoro and Lucci still fighting and tells it to Sanji. So we finally found out that Jinbei has got to Zoro now. And so it looks like we're wrapping up most of the fights that are going on, except for the Gorosei and Luffy and then the Giants now. And then it looks like after that, we'll get the Vegapunk announcement, and then we'll get off the island after that. So it looks like this chapter is confirming that the arc is going to be coming to an end, about 5 to 10 chapters if I had to put my money on it. Then we get Sanji. He's making snide remarks towards Zoro about being a dead weight, and then Zoro gets mad from hearing this from Sanji. And we get the more back and forth between Sanji and Zoro. In my opinion, I'd rather them I wish Oda would take a little bit out of this. Like, I know it's been going on for like 1100 chapters. And he's trying to finish the story. Like, he could use this panels. I mean, I don't know how many panels it is. I feel like it's probably like 3 panels. He could take this out and make something else in these panels, so that he's saving a little bit more time. But hey, that's just my hot take. You can spar me in the comments. Let me know that I'm tripping for that. But that's my thing. I've been seeing it for the longest time. We don't need to keep covering it up, in my opinion. So Lucci uses the same technique he uses back in Eni's lobby, the Shigan Madara, on Zoro. However, it doesn't hit him because Zoro dodges this technique. And Zoro then uses his own new 3-sword style, Hahava Leopard Hunter. I totally probably butchered that. It says Hahava is one of the 8 cold hells in Buddhism. That seems like it's going to be a cool attack. And, you know, a lot of people are hoping for 1111 as the Zoro chapter, but it looks like we're not getting that. It looks like we're actually getting no off-screen on this chapter, and we get to see Zoro defeating Lucci with a new technique. So Zoro fans, you should be happy. And it looks like Sanji fans, we didn't get what we wanted again, so that's another L, I guess. But hopefully soon Sanji will get some kind of new move, and maybe it'll be an Egghead Island. And I don't know, man. I just think that I want to see more Sanji, and pretty much all we get from Sanji is a win and then a loss, because he sets up a new move or sets up a new power scale that he has, and then as soon as that happens, something takes away from it. You know, we even get Zoro taken away from it. You had Kizaru taken away from it. It's just getting to me. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is at this point. Lastly, we have no break after this week. And then we got more spoilers. V.Nusjuro, the wild horse. It doesn't look goofy. It's actually cool. And while he's in his wild horse form, he uses his fast horse legs to approach the pacifistas and cut them with his sword. I'm curious to see. I assume his sword is a black sword. I'm curious to see how strong he actually is with the sword. Because if he's actually strong with this sword, I mean, there's a chance they're setting up Zoro versus V.Nusjuro. However, there's a chance they get defeated way before this. They might not be that strong, but I'm excited to see some new moves from the Gorosei because they seem like they got some cool moves that they have locked down. And yeah, Jupiter attacked Luffy in his giant worm. He's trying to eat Luffy. Before he could successfully eat him, the goats themselves, the giants, Dory and Brogy step in and they deliver 2 slashes to cut his head off. And then we don't know if he's defeated, but I feel like the rest of the Gorosei can also regenerate. And let's go ahead and get into what I think their devil fruits or their monster forms they are in right now. Because there's a chance they're just monsters and this isn't a devil fruit. We don't know. We'll probably get confirmation hopefully this chapter, but not sure yet. So this is what I think their forms are right now. V.Nusjuro, he takes the form of a wild horse. I'm not sure how we get a wild horse from the silhouette we got in the previous chapters when Sabo saw them and he saw Emo. But I think that he's going to be and I'm sorry for butchering any of these pronunciations. I don't speak any language other than English, so it's not going to be good. But I believe his devil fruit form is going to be the Kotsubuki, and that is a horse chimera. This horse was known to improve health and diseases and allow you to live a long life. That's what it says about this yokai. I think that most of the ones, because there's a couple of these yokais that seem like good yokais, I do think that the ones that have good meaning behind them, they're kind of going to be a reverse of what their actual meaning is. So this one says improve health and diseases and allow you to live a long life. I think there's a chance that he can take away the lifespan from people if his Haki is stronger than theirs, which a lot of times it's probably going to be stronger than theirs. So I feel like this would be a cool power for him to have. Saturn has the ability to poison people with venom from the spider itself, and he can pretty much destroy them with his eyesight. So I feel like the horse itself will be able to give diseases and take away life from people, and that will be a huge power for this Gorosei. Then we go to Jupiter. He is a massive worm-like monster, most likely the Hanzaki, which is a giant salamander. These things are known to want to eat humans, horses, and cows all in one gulp. The folklore behind this was back in the days, these salamander-like things, I believe they lived in like water, and they'd come out, or they've been in the forest as well. They come out and just take humans, cows, and stuff, eat it in one gulp. And so it's a worm-like animal, and the only thing I could find that was like a worm was the salamander. And this to me looks like it's gonna be the coolest one, and it's gonna be the scariest in my opinion. So I'm really excited to see that. Another thing about this, in the folklore, it says if you do kill one, it is said to curse you and those around you. I do think, like the previous the Gorosei members, I do think that they're pretty much invincible and they can regenerate. So when you chop his head off, which Dory and Brogy chopped his head off, I do think it's gonna regenerate. And since it does, from the folklore, it says it brings a curse to you, I feel like Dory and Brogy might be cursed after they chop their heads off, or after they chop the head off of Jupiter. And so I'm excited to see if this is true, if that's the actual form that Jupiter is in, and if it does have a curse, if that is the form. But that's what I believe it is. We get Warcury as a giant boar. I believe he is probably a Baku, which is a dream eater in Asian folklore. And this, like I said, inversion of what the actual folklore is, instead of a dream eater, I think it's, or instead of a nightmare eater, I'm pretty sure it's called a nightmare eater. Instead of a nightmare eater, I feel like it eats the dreams of people. So all the hopes and dreams that people have, this devil fruit form would definitely be able to take away from people. Don't and I assume like I said, it's gonna be people that are stronger, people that have stronger Haki or devil fruit, have a stronger Haki won't be able to stop this. But that to me seems like a big power to have for a yokai. Then we get Marcus Mars, a giant bird, most likely a Suzaku. This bird represents Mars, so it only makes sense that that's what it is. And I got this information from Anime Balls Deep, so shout out to them for making this theory. But it only makes sense because then it also is an inversion of Marco's Devil Fruit, which was healing. Marcus Mars himself, instead of healing people, he would just be able to hurt people with his flames. And then, he'd also be able to regenerate as well because phoenixes have this capability. And so that's what I think their forms are going to be. I'm really excited to see this. And also, I want to say shout out to the Giants because they're stepping up as MVPs this arc. I hope they don't get cursed from this. And because I really want to see Dorian Broggie succeed. From coming back, losing the Mr. 3 to this right here, I gotta say, that's progress and that's huge growth. They might have, to be honest, one of the strongest increase in powers. So I'm curious to what you guys think their devil fruits are, if they're devil fruits in general, if they're just monsters in general, what your theories are of this. And, if there is more information, I'll make sure to cover it. And until next time, peace.